Welcome back to the SilmFilm script discussion, Season 3, Episode 8, Part 5? Is it a 5? That's a 5, Marie's holding up. What do you know? Anyway, we are kind of through Act 1. Kind of. I think we might come back to it to kind of flesh it out a little bit, but I think I want to get us into Act 2 real quick, because I think we've kind of got a basic scene structure there. Quickly here, Dave says there's always a greater destiny. Agreeing with Phil, I already read that. Pull a Ginny Weasley and give Celebrimbor a single line just to distinguish him from an extra. Yeah, we have actually done that quite a few times with quite a few people, because there's I don't know if anybody who is here is familiar with this site tvtropes.org, but there's a trope called Ascended Extra, which there will be a lot of in this show. Like, pretty much everybody in this show, aside from the Valar, is an Ascended Extra.
Right. Yes. They start out as a background character with no name or lines, and then suddenly they're really important.
Except for Feanor.
They all die eventually as well.
Feanor and the first generation elves are not Ascended Extras. Pretty much,
and most of the humans
else
will be the same way. They'll be introduced as important characters.
Yes, because we don't have time for them to
and
hang around in the background.
Probably from the first moment she's on screen, because she gets kind of a nice introduction. But yeah, most people don't get introductions in their first episode. They're just randomly in the background for a few episodes before they actually have their intro scene.
Yep. All right, so.
But yeah, so Celebrimbor is here throughout this entire episode. We might find something that he should say or do, but he's really not going to be that involved.
Why don't we figure out who's on which ship, and then we can decide. And we don't have to get words from everybody. In this.
So Caranthir can have his own ship and not talk to anybody, because that'll make him happy.
Of course.
Well, it'll make other people happy.
Or
put the twins together, put Midros and Mogler together, put Cruderfin and Feanor and Celebrimbor together, and then Caligorm and Caranthir can be on their own ships, or they can be together, but we don't really need to bother talking to each other, so we can have them involved in a shipwreck if you want.
Or we could put Amrod and Amros on different ships. One of them, their ship wrecks, and they have to rescue all the people from that ship to put them on the remaining twin's ship. So one twin could save the other twin's life earlier in the episode, only to have that not happen at the end.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We want to have them.
That's very. Oh, wow.
So they do have to be on the same ship at some point. But that's
right. But they don't necessarily need to start there.
Because I like the idea of how focusing on the twins instead of having any kind of shipwreck scene focus on Caranthir and Caligorm. They're just kind of their ships, and like Caligorm might be talking to his like followers and or his dog, because he can do that. But
right. So David's point about there are more ships than brothers. Yes, there's more than 7 ships in this fleet. So there's a lot of ships with no Feanorians on them. Just people loyal to Feanor.
I don't think this is necessarily the time to have, although it would be interesting to do this next episode when Caligorm is going off fighting, to show from his perspective him actually having a conversation with Huon. Because Huon can talk in dog speak, and Caligorm can understand this.
Yes.
Yes.
So established that Huon is like a sapient being. I mean, it's probably already been established, but like in the middle of battle, and like just have Huon subtitled. But anyway, not now.
I would tend to avoid Huon being subtitled, or having it appear that he's speaking to Caligorm, because it's going to look really funky.
Well, he's eventually going to speak with words to Luthien and Beren, so
absolutely, yes.
Having him communicate now makes sense. And the only reason he never had to with Caligorm is because Caligorm understood him, so he never had to bother with human speech with Caligorm.
Yeah.
They can just conversations like Han and Han and Chewbacca.
I know. Well, I mean, like I definitely was in favor of having Caligorm talk to Huon with the expectation that Huan understands him perfectly. Dave
course
says that we should give Huan puppy dog eyes and make him expressive, but no explicit communication by language, even to the audience. I tend to agree. I'm okay with him kind of like whining or like him making normal sounding dog noises, not making it sound like he's trying to like have sentences or anything like that, and have Kelegorm respond as if he just actually said something that he could understand perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
Kelegorm understands dogs, so Huan acts like a dog and makes noises the way a dog does, and Kelegorm is good with that.
And Kelegorm can understand the things that Huan is saying that don't sound like they're even trying to be sentences to the audience.
Yeah. Like R2.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more like R2 than Chewbacca.
Well, the one that's like a dog is BB-8. BB-8 is a pet dog. R2-D2 is a toddler.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because
with an attitude.
Yeah, I think in the latest movie there was a scene where BB-8's dude Poe greets BB-8 just like one would exactly like one would greet a dog.
Exactly. They told him, "Here's your pet dog. Greet him." Like that's how that scene got. I don't know how it was directed, but that's what it looked like.
I don't want Kelegorm to treat Huan like a pet. I mean,
no, like a friend.
Huan is sapient and treats him like an actual friend.
Yeah, no, I
closer to Chewie than BB-8, but
yeah.
But regardless of all that, we're not going to put subtitles on Huan, and we're not going to focus on the Huan Kelegorm relationship in this episode, but more so in the next episode when Kelegorm goes out exploring Beleriand.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Definitely, there'll be some moments of Kelegorm and Huan then.
It could be cool next episode, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, do you think you want to have a shipwreck or not?
I think a shipwreck might be a little much. I can see one of the ships floundering and taking on some water or something like that without like a full-on shipwreck.
Well,
because they're in the middle of the ocean. It's like there's nothing to hit up there.
There's icebergs. Talk to the Titanic about whether or not that can sink your ship.
Okay, yeah, I know that, but I don't think they're that far north where that's going to be a huge issue.
Vegas is pretty far north. That's where they land.
Right by the.
I do kind of like the having to evacuate one of the ships.
But I mean, it could be a gradual thing. It doesn't have to be the thing is like broken in half and sinking quickly. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
We could foreshadow the burning of the ships a little bit by showing their cavalier attitude towards the ships. Is like, well, we evacuated all the people and horses and stuff off the ship. We got everything that's important, and then they let the ship sink, and it's just like whatever.
Yeah. There's another issue though with this. If we're gonna say that these ships are the most amazing ships ever, then it really has to be user error that gets the ship sunk. Yeah. So whatever the cause is, it has to be their fault.
Actually,
what they're doing, they know nothing about sailing.
See, this is where it's almost like I didn't think of any of these things, but it actually works out so amazingly. The wing idea for the ships works out great in this instance because if they don't have the tailwind anymore, if they're like halfway across and the tailwind dies down, and one of them refuses to undeploy them, those sails could very easily drive the bow of the boat into the water enough where it was taking on water, and even if the ship wouldn't really actually sink, the Feanorians probably don't actually know that. Right.
It won't sink the same way that the boats of Lorien don't sink, even when they're completely filled with water.
Right.
The Feanorians are like, oh crap, the ship is sinking.
Right.
And then they get everyone off, and then they watch the ship just kind of float around and not sinking, and they're like, why did we do that?
Well, it's still not going forward in the right direction at the right speed. So, I mean, it is going to get left behind.
Also, Dave is suggesting that if you capsize it, which would make it like they don't know how to right the ship. So, it's useless to them.
Yeah. Or they do something incorrectly and it actually snaps the mast. So they lose their sails. No, you can snap the mast on a ship like that.
Yeah.
Much easier than you would expect. If you don't do the sails correct and the right winds, a high
Yeah.
wind can snap your mast right off.
Especially if you have two big sails that are also trying to drag your ship in the wrong direction.
So if you screw up the sails,
Yeah.
you break the ship. And we can show that whoever was on that ship made some kind of mistake, and whoever comes to rescue them is like, why did you guys do that? And
No. People who come rescue them don't even understand the mistake they made because no one knows.
Well, no, someone has to understand, or else the audience thinks the ships are poorly designed and fall apart.
That is true. Yeah, that's
like we have to convey what the mistake was.
Okay.
Well, the brother who is berating the other brother can be like kind of full of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's yelling at him for messing up, but he actually doesn't really know how he messed up. He knows he messed up obviously because
the ship broke.
Right.
Clearly, you did something wrong.
See anybody else's ship breaking? You know, but
it's just that how you tell the audience things matters, and if we try to convey that they don't know anything about the ships, then we're not going to believe their evaluation of why it broke.
Yeah.
So you kind of need somebody to be a competent person.
Mm-hmm.
Someone catches fast.
Dave is asking if the frame narrative can be helpful here. It could, but given how much we're trying to pack into this episode, we're probably just going to do tag and teaser for the frame. Just because there's a lot of material here.
Well, we have room in the middle though.
We do have room in the middle. Well, okay. Let's consider it. Let's see how much stuff we wind up.
Okay. Because it is true that the frame is dealing with the same question of people who think they know more than they do.
That's true.
Trying to answer a question. So we might be able to find a tie-in. The thing is, the people in the frame aren't going to be talking about how to sail a ship. Mm-hmm. So that technical detail is not going to come out in the frame.
But we can draw a parallel between.
We can.
Yeah.
Between the kids screwing up when they don't know what they're doing and.
They're both wrong. They're both wrong.
Hamilcar and Estelle.
Yes. They're both wrong. Whatever it is that they're talking about, they're both wrong. There we go.
See, I like they're both right, but I can see they're both wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to. Well, all right. We can talk about that again in a minute. But let's let me try to stay focused here. Okay. So for Act 2, if we started Act 2 with a conversation between Maedhros and MacLeod, because remember, Maedhros 100% thinks not only that they're going to be going back to get the rest of Fingolfin's host, but he also thinks that Turgon and his guys, because we discussed this before, that Turgon and his guys, whoever it was that Fingolfin insisted go along, are boarded. He just didn't see them.
Right.
He thinks they're on board?
Yes. What? Because we had a scene in the last episode where clearly Fingolfin's group was uncomfortable with Feanorians controlling the ships for this very reason. And Feanor agreed to let some of Fingolfin's people be on board some of the ships.
A few of them.
Yeah, they weren't taking over the ship, but they could be present on the ships as just, goodwill gesture, which obviously Feanor immediately went back on by leaving before those people were able to get on the ships.
So he actually did. So you're actually having him lie.
Well, he left before that could happen.
Yeah.
He agreed to something that he didn't stick around to follow through on.
He changed.
If he hasn't noticed people aren't on his ship.
No. What I'm saying is that because there's a lot of ships.
He thinks they're on a...
Right. We're not talking about a lot of people. Like Turgon, probably just like Turgon and his family, and maybe a few of their retinue.
I want to avoid. We're gonna have him say, in retrospect, silly thing to Feanor, and then we're gonna have him do incredibly foolish and stupid things regarding the Parley. I want to avoid making him to be a complete and total moron.
Yes, I agree. What I'm saying here, and he can be confused. He can be confused. in this scene and being like, I don't like. He can be like looking across to other ships and be, I don't see anybody that like. Did they even come aboard? What happened? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can see very much in the dark.
Right.
Well, they have lamps on all the ships.
Yeah,
The ships all are well lit with lamps, so they can see the other ships across. But you're right, you wouldn't see who's on board them, and you wouldn't see all of them at once, and blah blah blah.
Right.
But he could know that the last time he saw those people, they were all on shore. So he's like, did they have the chance to board?
Right.
They did, right?
That can be coming up in their conversation, in a conversation between him and Maglor, if him and Maglor are together, which makes sense that they would be. Because it also gives Maedhros a chance to say things that he wouldn't necessarily say in front of anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You know.
I think Act 2 should start with Act 1 ends with the Fëanor stealing the ships.
Yes.
I think Act 2 start with Fingolfin's people finding the ships are gone and being like, what happened? What do we do? I feel like that should really be the start of Act 2.
Well, here's I tend to agree with you structurally. I would actually kind of like the reaction to the Fëanorians' departure to come after Maedhros and Maglor are talking, because they also think that they're going to go back and get them.
Okay.
Also, we ended the last episode with the people on shore reacting to the ships having left. So it's not a surprise that it's not a surprise anymore. Like, they've already been surprised. So we are returning to a conversation in progress rather than saying, oh my goodness, the ships are gone, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only issue is, okay, do we have any Angband material that we need to be talking about in this episode?
Bulldog goes
Just
south.
that Gothmog witnesses the burning of the ships.
Okay. And
Bulldog
Bulldog
moves into
yeah.
Valerian. Yeah, we're kind of leaving Sauron and Morgoth out of this one.
Okay.
Because Morgoth can only say he wants to take over the world so many times before it's not.
Yeah, before it's not interesting. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of something that we could put, because obviously it's pretty obvious that you don't want to go from the Fëanorian departure to Maedhros and Maglor talking about it. Unless we did the Beleg scene in between.
Yeah, and Beleg's on a ship, so they're
and Beleg landing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Beleg landing at where do we think he went up?
The mouth of Syrian.
Okay. All right.
Which will be the first? No, not the first time. The departing island, so that all the groups that went to Valinor on Telerisea were at the mouths of Syrian when that happened. So this is returning to that location.
Okay. All right.
But we haven't seen it this season yet, so this is a first time for this season seeing the mouths of Syrian.
All right. So. Oh, and Círdan. Okay. Okay. So here's what I suggest. Is that we have the Fëanorian departure is followed by Beleg landing at the mountains of Syrian, which is followed by Círdan and Galdor, like on a little island.
There's an island at the mouth of the Firth of Drengus. We have to be careful that they don't arrive there too soon, because otherwise they will watch the entire Fëanorian fleet sail into the Firth of Drengus. It's not a
can't be there.
Yeah,
they can't be there yet because they can't arrive there until after the Fëanorians arrive.
Yeah.
Right. So they can just be sailing up the coast. Círdan's group can just be.
This episode is very tail heavy.
Oh wait, it's Círdan.
Well, Círdan's group is the exploratory scouting group, not the refugees. The refugees went with Galdor.
Yeah.
So his group can be putting into shore, looking for signs of evil bad guys, and trying to figure out what's going on, so we can see that they're on that kind of mission before they find the ships.
You know, okay, the philosophy of living in I mean, they had two major terms or little boat wharfs or whatever scattered. I mean, it's possible that they're going north to see if anyone else is in danger or needs rescuing, because not all of their people were in just those towns.
Mm-hmm. So they're sailing up north along the coast at this point, is what you're suggesting.
Yes. Okay. Doing a scouting rescue mission.
I'm having a thought as to kind of restructuring this episode in a slightly different way.
What is that thought?
Well, we need to take a break. Maybe we'll discuss that over the break before we come back. Okay. So if you're watching us live, it's a big if at this point because it's now 10 o'clock. If you're watching us live, definitely hang in there. We'll be right back. If you're watching us on YouTube in the future, definitely like and share the videos. If you like and want to share them. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. Check out the links below so you can get information on Stigma University, Mythgard Academy /Institute. Myth Moot 5 coming up June 21st through the 24th in Leesburg, Virginia at the National Conference Center. It's going to be awesome. As well as all the stuff on the SilmFilm project, which you probably should have known already before you got here. Anyway, we'll be back in a second.